What's going on, YouTube family? For those that know me, thank you for sticking around. For those that don't know me, the new subscribers to my channel, thank you for being here. My name is Derek, and I quit my job 2 months ago to pursue a dream career of traveling the world. And I'm using it to the platform of YouTube. A lot of times when people travel, we kind of just get lost in the moment and we're just having fun, but we don't really talk about how much we accumulate through these travels. I want to show you guys the breakdown of what I've been spending since I left America 2 months ago. Being a full-time content creator is also hard, but also learning how to budget traveling is even harder. So in this video, I want to talk about the cost of living in Egypt. If you really want to check out my story, my background of why I'm doing this or why I'm so passionate about following my dreams, watch this video right here. It's my story, literally, and it's the front of my page. It's going to give you a breakdown and a deeper understanding of you getting to know who I am and why I'm so passionate about following my dream. So click that video right there and watch it, and then come back and finish this video, and then you'll see where I'm at. To make this dream possible, I saved up some money to kind of push myself to where I can make content for at least 10 months to a year. So I've given myself time to do that, but I also have to keep track of how much I'm spending and how much time I have left before I actually run out, before I start earning from YouTube or I don't. So I think this video is very important to kind of show you what I'm spending and how much I'm spending in this country, to kind of give you an idea of what it's like to actually spend in this country if you're thinking about staying here. My game plan was to spend a limit of only $1,000 a month. And by that, having that limit, it can set me towards the next destination every month, leaving whatever's remaining over to carry over to wherever I'm going. That way my money can spread, and also I can sustain a simple life, also traveling and also making YouTube videos at the same time until I start earning. I use an app called Monefy, which is going to show me a percentage of what I'm spending and what's taking away from me, and kind of assess my spending habits. And we're gonna look at that together. We're gonna talk about the month of May first, and I'm gonna talk about Egyptian pounds converted into dollars. How I break down my spending, I break it down into 4 categories, which is accommodation, transportation, food, and other. Other can be kind of like tours, excursions, necessities, simple things that don't really fall into the category of the first 3. That's really how I'm spending my money. I don't really need to do anything else. Every now and then it's okay to splurge for content reasons, but I haven't found myself doing that just yet. But for the month of May, let's talk about accommodations. Starting with accommodation is always going to be where your money's going to go out the most. That's just a given. So in the month of May, I was in Cairo for the first week, and Alexandria for the second week, and then Siwa for the third. Staying in Cairo was kind of like a culture shock for me, so it was very difficult for me to kind of move around. I was just getting the hang of it, trying to feel the area. It's a much different area, and you kind of get an idea of, unless you actually know someone in the country, accommodation is going to be the most money that you're pulling out, and I knew that right away going into this country, cheap or not. So for the first month of May, I spent about 6,968.63 Egyptian pounds. Now we convert that into dollars, it's $444.45. That's how much I spent in 1 month for accommodation. So that's kind of like hostels, rooms, hotels. And let me tell you, I started off with the hostels first, just to kind of get my feet wet in the area. And then as you change locations, some hostels may not be available. Airbnbs are more available in certain areas like Alexandria, and then Siwa, which is more of like the western part of Egypt. Hostels is, some places I just want to do, I want to feel okay, I want to feel comfortable. I stayed in the hostel in the beginning, but when I returned, I said I didn't want to really be in the downtown area because it's very stressful, it's very loud, I can't sleep. I actually ended up spending more to stay in a small kind of apartment, rent like a hotel apartment in New Cairo for just a little bit more. And sometimes you're gonna have to do that just to kind of have a peace of mind, and that's kind of where I felt that I was doing. But in future, I would kind of want to bring that number a little lower to kind of stay under a threshold. As far as food, Egypt has a lot of food, different varieties of food. Obviously Egyptian food, Western food, and more upper class areas, and Chinese food and Indian food here and there. What I spent for food in the month of May was 3,153.34 Egyptian pounds. When you convert that into dollars, it's $201.11. So in the month of May, I spent around 200 bucks. And I ate a bunch of Egyptian food, a fast food, a Hardee's, which is Carl's Jr., fruits, drinks, a lot of water, lots of water. You'll find access to food everywhere. What I would say is maybe kind of slow down on the sodas. I kind of did find myself drinking a lot of sodas in this country, which I normally don't do. And sometimes when you're buying things, you have to learn to negotiate everything. So I think I did pretty well on the food in the month of May, but I kind of want to see if I can bring it lower for the months to come. Transportation. So transportation is pretty much like Uber, bus, microbus here, tuk-tuk, anything that gets me from point A to point B. And what I spent in the month of May for transportation is 1,923.29 Egyptian pounds. And convert that, it is $122.67. So I think that's also good too. For the most part, when I got to Cairo and learning how to move around to the Go Bus and Uber, I found it very inexpensive at first, but it adds up later on. Maybe I could try different apps. I heard Swivel's pretty good. I could try more of the microbuses. The microbus is only 5 pounds, 3 to 5 pounds, depending on where you're going. Initially, I wasn't taking this at first, but later I got comfortable enough to take the microbus. I think I would do that moving forward in the future. That would probably bring down that number as well. But it's pretty good for the threshold. Like I said, my threshold for every month is $1,000, and I don't really feel like I'm hitting that peak for the month of May, but we'll see. We got one more category left for the month of May, which is other. And for other, which is like necessities, like I think like I bought a shirt or something, tour excursions, other simple stuff that doesn't fall in the category of hotel, food, and transportation. I spent about 1,940 pounds, which is converted into $123.74. I think that's very good for what I've spent for the first month. And that kind of gives you an idea of just what I've been spending for just to move around in Egypt. In Egyptian pounds, I spent 13,985.26 pounds. When we convert that into dollars, I spent $891.99 for the month of May to travel through Egypt. And did that make my threshold? Yes, it was under 1,000. So I did pretty good, almost hit 1,000, but I did pretty good. Moving on to June, we're gonna talk about June expenses, okay? For the month of June, at this point in my travels, I was now in the southern part of Egypt, which is like Abu Simbel, Aswan, Hurghada, El Gouna, and Luxor. The month of May, I was on the western part, which is near the north coast, which is Cairo, Middle Egypt, Alexandria, Siwa, and back to Cairo again. So in this month, my accommodation, which is where I'm staying, I spent 5,961.01 Egyptian pounds. When you convert that into dollars, it is $380.20. So compared to last month, I did a lot better in saving money. And I know why. At this point, I'm in the southern part of Egypt, and hotels, resorts are kind of like the thing here because people love to see these areas. I was more focused on hostels, and I was going from hostel to hostel to hostel to hostel. I didn't care about being in a nice hotel or fancy resort. I was really jumping from hostel to hostel, and I got really comfortable doing that. So I believe that's why my number did a lot better this month than I did last month as far as my numbers. And at this point of my travels, I was moving a lot faster than I did when I first arrived. So I didn't care to be in a very nice hotel. I just needed a place to stay, and I met some other people that forwarded me to very other accessible hostels. For food, the month of June, I spent 6,109.77 Egyptian pounds. Converted to dollars, that is $389.62. So compared to the month of May, I doubled my spending of food, and that's really bad. In the month of May, it was 3,000. The month of June, I spent 6,000 Egyptian pounds. I think I know why. After a certain time, I had like food poisoning from a certain food that I ate, and I was kind of just turned off from the Egyptian food. So I found myself spending more Western dishes, dishes that I'm familiar with. And if you want to eat dishes that are not Egyptian, you're gonna have to pay more in the nicer areas. So like in like Luxor, Hurghada, Aswan, if you want to eat like Western dishes that are typically not Egyptian, you're gonna have to pay more. And so I think I know why that number went up compared to last month. But if I were to do anything different, I would want to try and go to the local supermarkets and get like fresh fruits, vegetables, maybe something I could, pop in the microwave. Unfortunately, I don't have a kitchen no matter where I'm staying, so there's no point of kind of like stocking up. I don't stay in one place for too long. I'm only moving every 3 days to a certain hotel. But I would say I would probably go to a supermarket and kind of stock up there on like juices and waters and fruits and kind of bring that number down for next month. Transportation, I spent 2,408.09 Egyptian pounds. When we convert that into dollars, it's $153.59. So that increased just a little bit from last month's, which is $122. At this point, like I said, I was moving around a lot, from Abu Simbel to Luxor to Hurghada to Aswan, and it's gonna go up. Ubers in this area are not available. It's mostly taxis and tuk-tuks. So I can see why that number went up just a little bit more from last month's. What I would say is I would try to find more local areas to kind of take the mini buses, the micro buses. Like I said, those are 3 pounds, 3 to 5 pounds, depending on, even if you're a foreigner, I was charged double for having my luggage with me. But I would say that would be the best alternative, since there's no mobile apps, in drivers to kind of pick you up. The only way to get around is taxis and microbuses. And last but not least, other, for the month of June, I spent 5,260 pounds. When we convert that, it is a whopping $335.32. So why this number is so big compared to last month, which is $123.74, is because I extended my visa. I spent a lot of time in Egypt. In fact, it's been 2 months since I've been here, 2 days ago. And the visa is only 30 days valid towards visa plus 15-day grace period. And for me to go to the last part of Egypt, which is the South Sinai, I had to extend my visa for 3 months. No matter if it's 1 month, 2 or 3, you're gonna pay the same amount. I paid about around 2,000 pounds plus the late fee. So because of that also kind of pushed my expenses to the threshold of $1,000 a month. And for that reason, that pushed me over my limit by about $200. In the month of June, I didn't do so well. I've doubled my expenses compared to the month of May. But now that I've seen it and it's good, it gives you an idea of what to do and how much I'm actually spending to stay here in Egypt. Imagine if I actually had an apartment, paying some money a month. I think it's like close to $200 a month. I would choose Maidi. It's a very nice, pretty area. Hopefully it gives you an idea of what I'm spending and encourages you to come visit Egypt. I I think Egypt is a great place to visit as a content creator, traveling, or even just learning about Northern Africa. But with that being said, I'm going to end the video now. What did you think? Did you think Egypt cost a lot more than you thought, or did you think it was a lot cheaper than you thought? Guys, let me know in the comments below. I'm gonna see you guys in the next video, and don't forget to like, share, hit the notification button for the next video, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.